Welcome back. This channel exists because of your support. Subscribe, hit like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's get into the story. Saturday, October 12th, 6 p.m. Let me set the scene. You're standing in your own kitchen holding a wooden spoon. You just spent 3 hours cooking lobster risotto. Taught yourself from a YouTube video because your wife mentioned once, years ago, that she had it in Maine and loved it. Candles on the table. Your 6-year-old Lily drew a card. Happy anniversary, Mommy and Daddy. Heart in crayon. Your wife Natalie walks in from her home office. Ring light, glow still on her face. She's live streaming to 320,000 followers. Sees the table. Oh my God. You guys, she squeals at the camera. He set up this whole romantic dinner without telling me. I'm dead. This is the sweetest thing ever. She blows a kiss to the chat. Heart emojis flood the screen. Then she mutes the stream. Turns to you. And in a voice her followers will never hear. Mark, I told you I have a brand call at 7. Why would you do this without checking my schedule? Now I have to pretend I'm surprised and reschedule my whole night. She picks up Lily's card, glances at it, sets it next to the sink. Not the fridge, the sink. Where wet things go. Plate something small so I can take a photo. I don't have time to actually eat this. 300,000 people just watched her call you the sweetest man alive. Your daughter's anniversary card is sitting next to a wet sponge. That's what happened to me. That was the night I stopped pretending. My name is Mark Sullivan, 43. I own Sullivan Brothers Build, construction company in Philadelphia. Started it with my brother Pete out of a rented van 12 years ago. 14 employees now. Commercial renovations across the Delaware Valley. I'm not rich, but everything I have, I built with my hands. Natalie was a dental hygienist when I met her. 2013, friend's wedding in Rittenhouse Square. Yellow sundress. She laughed with her whole face. We married in 2014. Small ceremony at Fairmount Park, 80 guests. Her vows made me cry. Lily came in 2018. For 5 years, we were real. Then she started an Instagram account. By 2022, she had 320,000 followers, brand deals, and a content manager named Derek. I was part of the brand, the supportive husband. Always smiling in photos. Always captioned my rock. What her followers never saw. Mark, change your shirt. You look like a day laborer. I work in construction, Natalie. Exactly. Change. Mark, chew quieter. I might be recording. Mark, why did you park the work truck in the driveway? It ruins the aesthetic. I was a prop. And it happened so gradually, I didn't notice until the risotto sat uneaten on a counter next to my daughter's card. Thursday, October 14th, 3 p.m. I came home early from a job site in Fishtown. Walked in through the garage. Heard Natalie upstairs. Video call with Derek, door open. Derek, the separation content performs 3 to 4 times better than couple stuff. Every creator who's done a divorce arc gets massive growth. Natalie. So I just start hinting things are bad. Shift the tone. Solo empowerment. Finding myself. Then when you announce the split, the algorithm goes crazy. And Mark. Keep him around for contrast. He doesn't have to know. You control the narrative. How much? 6 figures first year. You become the relatable divorced mom. That's a whole market. Send me the content calendar. I stood in that hallway. Steel-toed boots. Drywall dust on my jeans. Listening to my wife schedule the end of our marriage like a product launch. Not because she was unhappy. Because Derek ran the numbers and divorce performed better than love. Everything went still. Like on a job site when you hear a beam crack, you don't panic. You get 3 seconds of perfect focus. And in those 3 seconds, you see where every piece is going to fall. If you've ever stood perfectly still while your entire life rearranged itself around you, you know what that silence feels like. If stories like this hit home, make sure you're subscribed. What happened next is where this story begins. Thursday, 4 p.m. I sat in my truck in the driveway. Most men confront. Walk upstairs, say, I heard everything. Watch her scramble. Then she cries. She says it was hypothetical. Derek was brainstorming. Within a week, the evidence disappears. I'd made that mistake once in business. Confronted a subcontractor stealing materials before I had the full picture. He covered his tracks. I lost the dispute. I learned something. The man who speaks first loses. The man who listens longest wins. I picked up the phone. Friday, October 15th, 9 a.m. Craig Peterson's back office. Behind his hardware store in Manayunk. 71 years old. Vietnam vet. 3 years post-divorce. His wife left him for her personal trainer. I told him everything. He listened without moving. Don't confront her. Lawyer first. Protect Lily. I don't want to be strategic about my marriage. Your wife is already being strategic about your marriage. You're just catching up. That hit like a hammer on a nail. Clean and final. Monday, October 18th, 10 a.m. Ruth Chin's office. Family attorney, Chestnut Hill. Do you want to save the marriage? I don't know what the marriage is anymore. Don't file yet. Don't change anything at home. Let me look into the financial side. Monday, 6 p.m. I walked in the door. Natalie was editing a reel. Clips of me and Lily at the park. Piano music. Caption. These two are my whole world. Camera smile. Hey babe. The park content tested really well. Great. I kissed her forehead and made a decision that changed the whole game. Instead of pulling away, I leaned in. Volunteered for photos. Suggested date nights she could film. The lights great on the patio. Want to shoot something? She was thrilled. Every couple goals post she uploaded was building the contrast. The happier she looked online in October, the more devastating the gap would be when the sad posts started in December. She was building her own trap. I was holding the door open. Tuesday, October 21st, Natalie came home glowing. Kissed me on the cheek. I brought you dinner from that Thai place you like. She sat on my lap, put her head on my shoulder. I know I've been distracted. I'm sorry. You deserve better. For 30 seconds, I almost believed her. Then she got up, pulled out her phone, and started typing. Actually, a getaway video would be amazing. Derek says the algorithm loves travel content. There it was. The warmth lasted about 30 seconds. Then the content manager's voice kicked in and my wife disappeared again. Wednesday, October 22nd. She cut back couple posts. Solo empowerment. Phase 1, on schedule. Thursday, October 23rd. Drove past Ultimo Coffee on my way to a job site. Saw her through the window. With Derek. Laughing. She told me she was at the dentist. Friday, October 24th. She took me to dinner at Vetri. Candles. Wine. Her hand on mine across the table. I'm so proud of what you've built with Pete. The audience loves the blue-collar husband thing. I wasn't a husband. I was a demographic. But I smiled. Played the part. Let her film the dessert. Sunday, October 26th. Her iPad on the kitchen counter. Screen on. Draft caption. When you've given everything and realize it wasn't enough. More soon. Scheduled for November. A month before she'd even told me there was a problem. Monday, October 27th. She snapped before breakfast. Why is your coffee mug always on the counter? It ruins every kitchen shot. I'll move it. She grabbed it, set it in the sink hard enough that it chipped. I need the kitchen clean by 9. 12 hours earlier she'd held my hand at dinner and called me her rock. Wednesday, October 29th, 4 p.m. I came home to find Lily's room repainted white. Trendy furniture. Styled shelves. Lily's drawings, gone. Bookshelf, gone. Ceramic handprint from preschool, gone. For the room tour content, Natalie said. The brand is paying for everything. That night Lily came to me holding her stuffed elephant. Daddy, Mommy took my books and put up empty ones. Pretty ones. I went to the garage. Cardboard box labeled Lily, old stuff. Books. Drawings. Handprint. Boxed up because a 6-year-old's life didn't fit the aesthetic. I carried everything back. Every book. Every drawing. Handprint on the dresser. Thursday morning. Natalie saw it. Her jaw tightened. Mark, I spent 4 hours staging that room. Her books stay. The room tour is sponsored. There's money attached to this. More money than your daughter's comfort? You're being difficult. I'm being a father. She picked up her phone. Walked out. I heard her tell Derek. He's going to be a problem. She had no idea how big. Thursday, 8 p.m. She came back downstairs. Soft. She sat next to me on the couch. I'm sorry about this morning. You're right. Lily's room is Lily's room. I let her lean on my shoulder. Said nothing. I'd seen this cycle 3 times now. Cruel. Sweet. Cruel again. The sweetness wasn't love, it was damage control. Friday morning. Mark, the bathroom towels need to match. Nothing in this house is cohesive. 36 hours. That's how long the sorry lasted. Stay with me. What comes next is the turn. If you're not subscribed, now's the time. You're going to want to hear how this ends. Sunday, November 2nd. Phone call from Linda, Natalie's college friend. Calling because she couldn't stay quiet anymore. Natalie had a private Instagram account. 60 followers. All women. 2 years of posts about me. The anniversary risotto. His little cooking project. 3 hours for something I could have ordered on DoorDash. My clothes. Imagine your husband at school pickup in steel-toed boots. The embarrassment. My company. He thinks pouring concrete makes him special. Babe, it's concrete. 2 years of everything I'd done for her turned into punchlines. Why now, Linda? She posted about Lily's room. Said it's finally Instagram-worthy. That's a 6-year-old's bedroom, Mark. I can't stay quiet. I hung up, walked to the garage, closed the door, sat on a bucket of drywall compound, and called Ruth. How fast can you get me a full financial picture? 2 weeks if I push it. Push it. Tuesday, November 4th, tucking Lily in. Good night, Moon. She was drowsy, elephant under her arm. Daddy? How come Mommy is nice on the phone, but mean without it? What do you mean, sweetheart? She tells everyone you're the best daddy, but she yells at you about your boots. And she took my books. I kissed her forehead, walked into the hallway, put my hand on the wall, stood there breathing until my chest stopped hurting. A 6-year-old could see it. Wednesday, November 5th, Ruth called. Natalie and Derek set up a business together. Brand income going into a separate account. Undisclosed. Significant. 3 hits in 4 days. The secret account. Lily's words. The hidden money. Thursday morning. I drove to Ruth's office before the sun came up. File. You're sure? She's announcing our divorce to 320,000 people on New Year's. I'm supposed to find out the same time as strangers. File before she does. Ruth pulled a folder from her desk. I was hoping you'd say that. I've had the paperwork ready for a week. We filed that afternoon. Natalie posted a selfie that evening. Golden hour, big smile. Grateful for this season. 8,000 likes. She had no idea what had already been set in motion. Thursday, November 6th, Natalie walked into the kitchen. Sweet mode, the cycle resetting. Babe, what if we did a vlog together? A day in the life thing? Sounds great. Really, whatever you need. She hugged me. First real hug in months. I stood there with my arms around a woman who'd mocked my cooking, boxed my daughter's drawings, and hidden money, and I hugged her back. Not because I forgave her, because I needed 6 more weeks of normal. Saturday, November 8th. She posted a photo of us from the vlog shoot. Her head on my shoulder, both smiling. Caption, still choosing each other after all this time. 22,000 likes. She showed me, beaming. Great numbers, I said. 6 weeks later, this photo would make her look like the biggest fraud on the internet. She just didn't know it yet. Saturday, November 15th. She posted, do you think people can grow apart even if they love each other? 41,000 likes. Phase 2. Right on schedule. Her followers were already mourning a marriage she was planning to kill. 2 weeks after the still choosing each other post. Sunday, November 16th. Natalie saw me on the phone in the garage. Who was that? Pete. Talking about a project. She paused in the doorway. Mark, is everything okay? You've been different lately. Different how? Calmer. Quieter. Maybe I'm just at peace. Something flickered behind her eyes. Suspicion, maybe. But she couldn't place it. She smiled. That's sweet, babe. She had no idea what the calm meant. Thursday, November 27th. Thanksgiving. Natalie's mother Diane drove up from Cherry Hill. Natalie staged the dining room 2 days early. Calligraphy name cards, linen napkins, the whole production. During dinner, Lily spilled cranberry sauce on the tablecloth. Natalie's face went hard. Lily, I haven't shot this angle yet. She's 6. It's Thanksgiving. Diane said nothing, but she was watching. After dinner, Natalie went upstairs to film her gratitude reel. Diane found me at the dishwasher. Mark, how bad is it? The truth. It's bad, Diane. She's performing at her own family's Thanksgiving table. She's been performing for years. Diane put her hands flat on the counter. She's always been like this. Instagram didn't create it, just gave her an audience. Her voice was flat, tired, like she'd been carrying this for decades. In high school, she kept a journal, sweet to everyone's face. Then she'd write terrible things about girls she called her best friends. I found it once. It was chilling. She didn't grow out of it. She monetized it. Diane's eyes filled. Protect Lily. Whatever you do, that little girl deserves better than being content. Friday, November 28th. I called Diane. I need you at the pre-Christmas dinner on the 22nd. And I need to tell you some things first. I laid out everything. The content calendar. Derek's plan. The private account. The hidden business. The divorce I'd already filed, 3 weeks ahead of her New Year's announcement. Silence on the line. Then, what do you need from me? Be there. Be honest when it matters. I will. I didn't have anyone who understood the whole picture back then. Craig knew divorce. Diane knew her daughter. Ruth knew the law. That's what this channel is, a place where men can be honest about all of it. If you're not part of this community yet, that subscribe button is right there. First week of December. The nice phase came back one last time. Natalie left a note on my truck dashboard. I'm lucky. N. Suggested we take Lily to see the Christmas lights at Longwood Gardens. We went. She held my hand. She was warm, present, laughing at Lily chasing fireflies. For one evening, I saw the woman I'd married. Then we got home, and she spent 2 hours editing the footage into a reel. Caption: these are the moments that matter. She tagged a children's clothing brand. The moments that mattered were content. Even the real ones. Sunday, December 14th, 9 p.m. Natalie was at a brand event downtown. I put Lily to bed and went downstairs. Her iPad lit up on the counter. Notification from Derek. I didn't touch it, but the preview was right there on the lock screen. Derek, separation announcement New Year's week. Maximum impact. Natalie, when does Mark find out? Derek, same time as the audience. Genuine reaction makes better content. My genuine reaction was supposed to be content. Let that sink in. She came home at midnight. I was in bed. You're still up? Couldn't sleep. Huge month coming. The brand is about to explode. For us. For the brand. She fell asleep in 5 minutes. I lay there thinking about her vows. I promised to choose you every single day. The divorce papers were already filed and sitting in Ruth's office with the case number on them. Natalie was planning to surprise me on New Year's. I'd beaten her by 6 weeks. Monday, December 15th, 8 a.m. She posted the teaser. Black and white. Rain-streaked window. Sometimes the person you love the most is the person you've lost along the way. 38,000 likes in 4 hours. She showed me over breakfast. Beaming. Look at this engagement. I poured her coffee. Impressive. She was teasing the end of our marriage for likes. The papers were already filed. She just didn't know it. Monday, 2 p.m. I called Diane. December 22nd. It's time. December 22nd. 5 p.m. Pre-Christmas dinner. Diane. Richard. Natalie's sister Megan. Pete and Sandra. Lily upstairs with her tablet and headphones. Out of earshot. I cooked all day. Prime rib. Roasted potatoes. Lily helped with the salad on her step stool, telling me about a boy in her class who eats glue. I just listened. Didn't film it. Didn't caption it. Just lived it. Natalie came down at 5. Looked at the table. The napkin folds photographed flat. Can you redo them? No. She blinked. First time I'd ever said no to napkins. She felt the shift. Recovered fast. You're right. Sorry. Stress. Dinner was warm. Pete told stories about a renovation in Germantown. Richard talked eagles. Lily showed everyone her drawings. The real ones. The ones I'd put back on her wall. Natalie had her phone face down. She was performing Family Natalie, the version that shows up when the audience can't be controlled. December 22nd, 8:30 p.m. After dessert. Coffee in the living room. I stood up. I want to say something. Natalie smiled. Warm. Expecting a toast. She reached for her phone to film it. Leave the phone. The smile froze. Her hand stopped mid-reach. For the last 2 months, I've been living with something I want to share with the people who actually matter. Not with 300,000 strangers. With the people in this room. I looked at her. She still thought this might be a romantic speech. That lasted about 3 more seconds. 2 months ago, I came home early and overheard a conversation between Natalie and Derek. They've been planning our divorce. Not because the marriage failed, but because divorce content performs better. They built a content calendar. Teaser posts in December. Separation announcement New Year's week. Time for maximum follower growth. I was supposed to find out the same time as her audience. My genuine reaction was supposed to be content. Dead silence. Natalie went white. Not red, white. The color of recognition. She knew exactly what I was describing. That's not. Mark, you misunderstood. Derek was just brainstorming. There's more. For 2 years, Natalie's had a private account where she mocks me to 60 strangers. The anniversary risotto I cooked. She called it his little cooking project. My work boots. My company. 2 years of every kind thing I've done, turned into jokes. Megan's hand went to her mouth. Richard set his coffee down slowly. And there's a business she set up with Derek. Brand income going into a separate account I knew nothing about. My lawyer has the details. Natalie was shaking now. Mark, please, we should talk about this alone. You weren't planning to handle it alone. You were planning to announce it to 300,000 people. I'm just choosing a smaller audience. She turned to Diane. Mom, tell him he's wrong. Diane didn't move for a long moment. Then, quietly, he's not wrong, Natalie. He's not wrong about any of it. She looked at her daughter the way you look at something you love but can no longer protect from itself. I've known who you are since you were 16. I just kept hoping you'd change. Richard stood, reached for his coat. Slowly, like a man who's just gotten very tired. Dad, please, I need air. He walked out, not slamming the door. Worse, closing it softly, like he didn't want to disturb anyone on his way out of his daughter's life. Diane followed him. Then Megan spoke. Quiet, almost a whisper. The journal. Natalie's head snapped toward her sister. You did this in high school, Natalie. You kept a journal. Sweet to everyone's face. Then you'd go home and write terrible things about the people who loved you. You did it to Katie Brennan. You did it to Sarah Park. Megan's voice cracked. You did it to me. I read what you wrote about me, Natalie. I was 15. The room was coming apart. Not with screaming, with truth. Layer by layer, the performance peeling off, and every person at that table seeing what was underneath. Natalie turned to me, tears streaming. How could you do this to me? In front of my family. I looked at her. 10 years. Risotto she didn't eat. Flowers she didn't smell. A daughter she turned into content. Vows she turned into captions. You call me content. I'm a person, Natalie. Lily's a person. This family was real. And you turned it into a product. We can fix this. I'll delete the account. I'll fire Derek. I filed 6 weeks ago. While you were still posting couple goals. The room went completely still. Not even breathing. You already filed? You were going to announce our divorce to strangers on New Year's. I filed before Thanksgiving. You've been teasing the end of a marriage that was already legally ending, and you didn't even know it. She stared at me, and for the first time in years, I saw her face without a filter. No angle, no lighting, no caption, just a woman watching the floor disappear. She broke down, full sobbing. Megan sat with her, not comforting, exactly. More like holding something that was falling apart. Pete stood next to me. Didn't say a word. Just stood there. My brother. Solid as a foundation. I went upstairs. Lily was in her room, headphones on, movie playing, elephant under her arm. She hadn't heard a thing. Hey, monkey. Hey, daddy. I love you. You know that. I know. I love you too. She yawned. Can we make pancakes tomorrow? Every tomorrow you want. I sat on her bed. Looked at the drawings taped to the wall, the ones I'd put back. Ceramic handprint on the dresser. Real books on real shelves. A kid's room that looked like a kid lived in it. That was the realest thing in the house. My hands were shaking. First time all night. I sat there until the voices downstairs went quiet. Until I heard car doors and engines starting. Until it was just me and a sleeping 6-year-old who wanted pancakes. 3 months later, Natalie moved to Megan's apartment in Cherry Hill. I kept the house. Lily with me during the week, weekends with her mom. Ruth handled everything in court. The hidden business, the concealed income, the fact she'd already had her own attorney while I was still cooking her anniversary dinners. The courts took all of it seriously. Natalie's Instagram went dark for 6 weeks. When she came back, it was different. No ring light. No filters. Photo of herself at Megan's kitchen table. No makeup, messy hair, dark circles. Caption: I lost something real because I was chasing something fake. I'm starting over. Derek disappeared. Business dissolved as part of the settlement. Private account deleted. February. Ultimo coffee. No cameras. She looked different. Thinner. Tired. But something in her eyes had changed, a quietness I hadn't seen since before the ring light. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't know if I can. My therapist says I've been performing my whole life. Even before Instagram. I thought if it looked right, it was right. It wasn't. No. She wrapped both hands around her mug. The risotto, Mark. The anniversary risotto. It was the best thing anyone ever did for me. And I mocked it online 20 minutes later because I thought being mean was the same as being funny. I'm going to carry that for the rest of my life. That's the most real thing you've said to me since 2020. She almost smiled. Almost. I want Lily to know I can be a real mom. Not a content mom. Then be one. Every day? Without an audience. I'm trying. Try harder. She nodded. No spin. No argument. No performance. Just a nod. 6 months now. Lily splits her time between us. Natalie has been consistent. Therapy twice a week. Boundaries with social media, present when Lily's with her. She stopped posting Lily entirely. Her choice, not the court's. I'm in the kitchen making coffee. The house is quiet in the mornings. Not empty quiet, clear quiet. No ring light on the counter. No tripod in the corner. No content calendar on the fridge. Just a kitchen where a man makes food for his daughter. Pete and I are restoring a firehouse in Northern Liberties. Converting it to apartments. Good work. The kind you point to and say, I built that. It's solid. It'll last. Last week, dropping Lily off at Natalie's. Lily ran inside. Natalie stood on the porch. She drew your construction site at school. Told her class her daddy builds buildings. I know. She's proud of you. Always has been. No cameras. No audience. Just two people on a porch in the late afternoon. Take care, Natalie. You too, Mark. Lily called last night. She's at Natalie's this week. Daddy, guess what? Mommy read me a real book tonight. A real one. And she didn't even take a picture of it. That's great, monkey. Daddy, yeah. I like it better when people are real. Me too, sweetheart. Me too. The most important audience is the one sitting across from you at dinner. The one who doesn't need a caption to know they're loved. Dear listeners, that's our ending. If it resonated, subscribe to support the channel. See you next time.